Okay. My name's Abby DuBois. This summer I've worked at Nex-Tech in the accounting department. Some stuff about me. I grew up in Norton, Kansas and graduated high school there in 2021. I just graduated from KU with degrees in history and classics, and I plan to go to grad school for library science. So you may wonder why I would choose to do an accounting internship if I want to work in a library. But I think that any business you work at is going to have an accounting department, and because every business needs to handle money, so I think learning about that type of stuff is really valuable no matter where you're going to end up. I've worked as a Nex-Tech accounting intern on and off for the past 2 years, and I will keep working there after this summer. So some daily responsibilities I have had. I work a lot in accounts payable, which is us working with vendors that we buy things from and making sure we're getting that stuff paid for. So I do a lot of invoice linking, which is where the vendor sends us the invoice and we send it through our program to make sure it gets approved by a supervisor at Nex-Tech and then gets coded and entered into the right place in our ledgers and then eventually gets paid. I work a lot processing statements. Once a month we'll get a statement from a vendor that'll list like all the invoices we had with them that month, and so I'll go through and make sure we've received all of those invoices and that they're getting processed and paid. And if they're not, then I have to contact the vendors and have them send those over so we can get it taken care of. Monthly responsibilities. I also work on bank reconciliations. So Nex-Tech is a pretty big company, so we work with a lot of banks throughout Northwest Kansas, and so each of those will have a monthly statement that I go through and make sure all of the transactions on that statement are posted into our accounting program and that we have record of them. And then if they don't, I work with the other accountants to get those posted and make sure that they're taken care of. And then I also work on balance sheet reconciliations, which are different accounts that we have within our accounting system. And each of those accounts is for a different thing. But we'll have all of that information in our accounting program. And I will export those into spreadsheets and make sure we have it all in our X365 file so that the accountants can access it more easily than they can going into the program and having to export it themselves. And then I also work on customer deposit reconciliations. So if a customer comes in and wants to buy a phone but doesn't have good credit or a good credit history, then they'll have to pay a deposit. And if they're making their payments on time every month, we will refund that deposit. So I will go through every month and see which have been refunded and take those off of our kind of master spreadsheet so that we know which deposits are active and which aren't. So then some other projects I'm working on now and also in the future. As mentioned before, we're kind of transitioning into a new program. So I've done a lot of work making sure that everything from our old program is accurate in the new program, and then working with the accountants if things aren't to get it fixed. In the future, I'll work on tax exemption updates. So different businesses like churches or schools or businesses like those are tax exempt. So we have to make sure that we have record of that in our system so that we're not charging them tax when we're not supposed to. And then when my coworkers are gone, I help fill in on their duties wherever they need help and kind of try to take the ease off of the coworkers that are here and pick up some of that slack. And then also just in general, kind of pick up the slack where anyone needs it if they need it. And so I don't have a slide for this, but some valuable things I've learned is working in Microsoft programs like Teams and Excel, especially Excel, and those kind of things. And let's see, I also worked remote, so learning how to manage my time and mentioned previously, learning how to deal with distractions as they come up and not let that affect my work so much. And I'm excited to keep working for Nex-Tech in the future, and I'm really thankful for this opportunity. So I think that's all I have.